Douglas. I'm a lawyer for Lisa Hines. We are here this morning to announce the filing of a $35 million claim for damages filed concerning the death of 36-year-old Wakiesha Wilson. Miss Wilson was arrested at this very facility on Friday, March 25th, 2016, on a misdemeanor charge of battery. The next morning, she had a conversation with her mother, Lisa Hines, and spoke about the expectation that she would be coming to court the following Tuesday, and asking that her mother be sure to meet her in court so that she could be released and be taken back to her home in Moreno Valley. That was Saturday, March 26th. The next day, Sunday, March 27th, happened to be Easter Sunday. It also happened to be the birthday of her aunt, Sheila Hines. And Lisa spoke to her daughter about 7:30 that morning. She was in good spirits. She wanted to wish her mother happy Easter. And she reminded her mother then that she was going to be going to court the following Tuesday and wanted to make sure that her mother would be there in court on Tuesday to drive them both back to her home. She also knew that that Sunday was her Aunt Sheila's birthday, and so she made plans to call back later that day when the family was going to gather for Easter dinner. And she also wanted to talk to her son, 13-year-old Jamil, and so she wanted to make sure that her mother would be available to patch her through to her son, who lives with his father in Las Vegas. That was the last time that Lisa Hines spoke to her daughter. She was informed that that Wakiesha Wilson was found in her cell unresponsive just a short time later. Now the coroner has ruled this death a suicide, but Lisa Hines and Sheila Hines do not agree, and they have questions. It is regrettable that the only way that this family can get answers to those questions is by the filing of this claim for damages. The claim alleges alternate theories. One, that there was some sort of foul play involved that led to her death, but also that there was a possibility that because Ms. Wilson suffered from a mental disability when she was arrested, that the city and the jailers there failed to adequately evaluate her and failed to take adequate steps to protect her given her disability. If Wakiesha Wilson was stricken with cancer and had a medical disability, the city and the jailers would be responsible to be mindful for that condition as well. We are hopeful that this claim for damages will be the first step toward answering the questions of how and why Wakiesha Wilson lost her life far too soon, leaving a mother who grieves daily for her daughter, leaving an aunt who misses her niece oh so much. I am very impressed by the resiliency of this family. Every Tuesday, including today, this family has gone to the police station and spoken to police commissioners, asking questions about why and seeking answers. And today, hopefully, is the first step toward providing those answers. And now, Lisa Hines will share a few remarks.
Good morning. My name is Lisa times a day. They go and fly. And I don't tell the people. The police, I don't think they were right. I think they were totally out of line for not informing me that she was deceased. I had to call. Had I not been calling looking for my daughter, I wouldn't have found out. They were not going to call me. I had to call day after day, trying to find out where she was, when I already knew she was arrested and in their custody. But when I called the jails, they said they didn't know where she was. They was trying to find her, they was trying to locate her. Until I kept calling, and the watch commander gave me a number to the coroner's office. And he didn't tell me it was the coroner's office, he told me to call investigations. And I didn't know. I'm just thinking it's investigations, but to my surprise, when they answered, they said coroners, and I just dropped. I fell out. So I just want everybody to know I miss my baby. I miss her dearly. And all this, people talk about injustice. But for me, there won't be no justice because I'll never have my baby back. Never. So I don't know how I win. If I can't win. Thank you.
That Tuesday, Ms. Hines went to the criminal courts building expecting to see her daughter and expecting that her daughter would be released. There was no record of Wakiesha Wilson there, and she started calling. She called police stations all over the city looking for her daughter. Eventually, after several hours and a couple of days, when she contacted the Metropolitan Detention Center, she spoke to a watch commander there, and then she was given a phone number. And when she called that number, to her shock, she was told it was the investigation from the coroner's department. So the first notice that she had that her daughter had died was when she had to call the investigator at the coroner and get those news. That is indeed a tragedy, another tragedy on top of her death. And while this claim is for $35 million, no amount of money will ever end her sorrow. She would rather have her daughter back. And now, Wakiesha Wilson's aunt, Sheila Hines, would like to say a few words.
Good morning. My name is Sheila Hines. I'm the auntie of Wakiesha Wilson. Wakiesha was a very loving person. She had a great personality, outgoing, and just full of life. And I know on March 27th, she wouldn't have missed calling me to wish me happy birthday. And she would be terribly missed. She is. We are having sleepless nights. Wakiesha was the kind of person that loves to hug you, love to embrace, love to give, love to offer whatever she had if you needed. Wakiesha's smile was just look at the picture, her smile. This is Wakiesha, this is who she is. A beautiful person with a big smile on her face all the time. And I'm going to miss her, the whole entire family, the community. We all are devastated. And we know there was some type of foul play. And we just want to seek justice. And we just, like Attorney Carl Deckard said, no amount of money will ever replace her. We would rather have her here with us, where she belongs. And her life was taken. Thank you.
The claim for damages that we filed yesterday is the first step in the legal process. The city will be having 45 days to reject that claim, and then we will file a federal lawsuit arising out of her death. And through that lawsuit, we hope to seek answers to all of the troubling questions that surround the death of Wakiesha Wilson. Thank you.
Douglas, what explanation have the authorities provided What is their story so far?
They haven't given any explanation to this family so far as to the circumstances of Wakiesha Wilson's death. There is an investigation ongoing, and there is some time that it takes for that to evolve. But regrettably, the only way that the family can get real answers is through the discovery process that is part of a lawsuit to be filed.
And do you think that there is videotape from inside? I mean, do you know of cameras in a certain position that may help?
Well, this is an $80 million facility that is technologically advanced. We would expect that there would be cameras throughout the jail system there, monitoring the actions of the jailers and the other people that are there. But we are troubled because recently there has been a report from the Inspector General's office talking about the problems that have been endemic to this particular facility. How more than 80% of the cell checks that are supposed to be made have been problematic. How jailers have filed logs, paper logs, in a sinister way. How they've marked times of filing notations when in fact they are inaccurate. And so this is just another troubling aspect of this case that we hope will be resolved as we work our way through the legal process.
Can I ask you, when you say the family goes every Tuesday to talk to LAPD, what are they doing?
They have not been told much, and they will be at the police commission hearings today as well, I suspect. They have been there every Tuesday seeking answers to their questions. And because the investigation is still pending, there is not a lot that they've been told, and that's why they've hired me to help them to seek answers to those questions.
And how is Wakiesha's son doing? I don't know if the family can talk just on his behalf.
13-year-old Jamil, Jemael, lives in Las Vegas with his father. He still grieves for his mother and misses her dearly. She helped to raise him until just very recently, and he has his separate lawyer who will be representing his interests in a similar lawsuit filed on behalf of his interests in this case.
So in the perfect world, if LAPD had answered your questions, would we be here today?
It's hard to speculate what would happen in a perfect world. It would depend on what the answers to these troubling questions would be. It would depend on if the family were satisfied that justice is in fact being served. But because they do have these questions, because they continue to have questions, because they refuse to accept the official version that Wakiesha Wilson took her own life, because they talked with her just hours before she supposedly took her own life, they refuse to answer those questions that way, and they have me to seek answers for them as well.
Mr. Douglas, is there something specific that makes you think foul play was involved, or is it the lack of information that leads you to wonder what could have happened?
There's the troubling juxtaposition of the timing of everything. That they spoke to their daughter early that same morning, that within 2 hours she was pronounced dead, that when they spoke to her daughter, she spoke of calling back later that day, not only to wish her family a happy Easter, but to wish her aunt a happy birthday, and to connect with her son. These are all very troubling things that are part of their life that they are aware of. I never had the pleasure of meeting Wakiesha Wilson. I didn't know about her life, but her family members who knew her and loved her have these questions, and I have to have answers to those questions.
Did she ever mention any trouble in the jail during phone conversations, any confrontations with any jailers?
She did not mention trouble, but there has been suggestions that have been reported by detectives that there was an altercation of some sort. We're not sure what kind of altercation that was. We're not sure if it was verbal or physical. And that is just another of the troubling questions that causes this family to ask why and how. Thank you. you all very much.
Does anybody need a copy of the claim?
Yes, please.
Okay, I need your email address and I'll send it to you right now. Say her name!
Wakiesha Wilson!
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 What we want?
Justice!
What we wanted?
Now!
What we want?
Justice!
What we wanted?
Now!
Say her name.
Wakiesha Wilson!
Say her name.
Wakiesha Wilson!
What we want?
Justice!
What we wanted?
Now!
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 Hi. Hey, now I'm gonna head over to the police commission meeting. I'm gonna stop live streaming right now and come back live around 9:30. What time is it now? Oh, it is 9:25. So I'm gonna come back live when I get inside, I think. So, if you've never been to a police commission meeting, if you've never watched a live stream or a video from the police commission meeting, it's always interesting. It's always ridiculously, I'm kind of at a loss for words. It's just mind-boggling how incredibly corrupt and the lies, the blatant lies that are told at the police commission meeting, and the bullshit. I mean, it's just fucked up bullshit, the whole thing. And so if you guys just leave your browsers open, I will be back very shortly as soon as I get inside.